Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of the Paperweights. I am your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And today we will be finishing our discussion of book 2 of the Gentleman Bastard series, which is, or sequence, whatever he calls it, the Red Seas Under Red Skies. Before we jump into it, we are sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers, a Louisiana small business that specializes in beard care products, candles, and most recently, colognes. So if you have a beard, know someone that has a beard, and want to have that beard taken care of, he has an array of products. I personally use the wash, the conditioner, the balm, beard balm, and beard oils almost on a daily basis. Some days I forget, but most of the time I try to get it. It keeps it looking good, get many compliments on it. But if you don't have a beard, you want your house to smell good, he's got candles you can burn. Or if you like to wear cologne or like somebody else to wear cologne, the colognes are really good. So head on over to his website, www.mudcatwhiskers.com, and use code Paperweights at checkout, and you will save yourself 15%. So, all right, well, it's been 2 weeks since the last episode.
Yeah.
I was on a 8-day beach trip. So, but
Very nice.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Got some work done while I was out there too. The benefits of working remotely. Um, can can get some stuff done wherever you are. No different
Yeah.
than being at your house. Um, but yeah, got my wife and my daughter to go parasailing. That was fun. My wife, she was all calm beforehand because she knew our daughter would enjoy doing it, so she wanted to, you know, make her see that it was okay to do it. Uh, Jules, however, was kind of scared going up into it. But once we left the boat, Jules was like, "Oh my God, this is fun." And Christy was like, "I'm not okay. I'm not okay." So, um, yeah, I had a whole lot of fun. So,
Yeah, I enjoyed parasailing when we did it. You don't go up as fast as you think you do. You just kind of float up,
yeah, no,
hover there. It's fun.
yeah. And up there, while you're up there, or I mean, the entire time, it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's a lot quieter than I expected it to be. I think I actually have to talk louder while sitting on the beach over the sound of the waves than I did floating up 300 feet in the air. So, but yeah, it's a lot calmer and more fun than I thought it would be. Because there's no like sudden uh, ascent and there's no sudden descent. So, uh,
Yeah, I think people think it's like they see the movies with like the jet skis and and it's like all fast and stuff, but it's not that. I don't know if that's a different thing or not, but like it just seems more like daredevilish than what it actually is.
I could see you getting more wind if you like just popped out the parachute while going super fast.
Yeah.
Um, but the way that they do it, they let the parachute out and it's still connected to the boat. They hook you in and then they slowly release the line up. So uh, yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff.
Yeah. Listeners are at the beach. I recommend it. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah. and it's not that expensive if you only have to pay for one person. Um, get like it's like 55, 65 bucks um, per person. So definitely recommend it. And it's fun reading pirate stuff while at the beach.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about book two, in its entirety?
Uh, I enjoyed it. It is kind of funny that he basically rewrote book one with pirates because the plot is exactly the same, down to the fact that the person that they were gonna heist in the first thing becomes head of the secret police. Which I'm curious in book three what city he sets up the secret police of. And hopefully book four they like all come together in like a Avengers Endgame of secret polices. Which it's just very strange. I was just reading, I'm like, this is awfully like similar to book one. But it was fun. I think it's better written than book one, but since book one's more original, I'd probably put it over this.
Yeah, I could see that. And there's supposed to be seven books in this series, by the way. Um,
All right.
I was actually looking things up with him, and he originally had like seven books planned for this, and then another seven book series like that was like 20 or so years later in the same world. But hopefully we get more.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It definitely was funny that it did come back to um, him setting up the original person as the head of the secret police, like you said.
Yeah.
Um, the the heist, what ended up being the heist was fun
Yeah.
and
Uh,
fun.
I will say I was well. We'll get into it, but I'm a little disappointed that the person who died because I do think he needs to branch out character wise, like as like recurring characters. So it sucked that she died. But the death flags were like flying so high. It was like so obvious that I was like, I think he's setting me up that she's not gonna die because it was like every 3 pages was like, "It's my last day of retirement." I was like, just they were flying so high. It was really funny. But yeah, I would have liked if she survived, but alas.
Yeah, the other thing that I was made a real big note about was the fact that the thief didn't come back. Um, the one that tried to rob them and kill them
Oh yeah,
on the cliffside. Uh, I totally expected him to come back in some capacity.
yeah. We didn't
Uh,
find out who Maraine's people are either, so like I'm guessing she's gonna come back
yeah,
if
I
she
thought we
worked.
found out something.
You know that she works for somebody higher up than like Stragos, but we didn't get like an actual name.
Okay.
So and it didn't seem like it was like the priority or whatever. It seems like it was some maybe Illuminati or something for next. It seemed like a setup for something.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
you want to jump in?
sure, we can jump in. Chapter 13, points of decision. This is where the pirates meeting happens between all the captains. Uh, Basically, she reveals what's going on. Not all of them are kind of into it. But she's basically ends up being like, "Hey, we gonna fight, or I'm just gonna do it. I'm just kind of giving y'all a heads up." Um, they uh they kind of come up with a plan that they're gonna like they want like locking them to just like assassinate him and say that they have the antidote, and but she's like, "No, that's a bad plan. They won't." They won't. So basically, like I said, it kind of ends with them being like, "We're gonna go do this. I'm giving you a heads up." And then we get one of the mini death flags of Jean and Esri, where she's like, "I love you," and they exchange "I love yous." Um, then they we find out that Ultgar is a spy for the guy with D name, Rodonov.
Rodinov.
Yeah, Rodonov. Uh, and he has a mysterious item with him. A lot of shit happens in this chapter. They go back to Talvarar. Like it's money from Captain Drakasa. They go meet Stragos. They get the antidote. Stragos is like, go cause trouble. They tell Stragos that Drakasa knows about them and has decided to like basically join in the cause and like have all of her competition killed off, which is a lie. So all that stuff happens. They go to the Sin Spire. They go through like the back entrance. They have to beat up a guard. Uh, they meet Cylindri and Requin. Uh, Locke gives him the money and it's like, hey, tells him about Callus, which is that master lock thief guy. And they're like, we're gonna like try to convince him more, and I could use this wax seal as like proof of your um stuff, like proof of your commitment to like bringing me back, protecting me, and shit like that. And then finally, we kind of meet up at the prologue. It's kind of in the chapter because like some assassins come and they run away, and then like it's a standoff. It's basically the prologue. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think it was word for word the
Yeah,
exact
exactly. Yeah.
well, no extra information. Um,
I will
which
say the I'm not a big fan of the prologue in this now because it's a whole lot of nothing. Which is kind of just a big fake out, which is a little annoying. But yeah.
yeah, I I thought it did its job enough to like it was always on my mind like oh I gotta read where does it happen, and there were like several places that you thought it like could occur, like oh it's coming, and it didn't come up. Um,
Yeah.
you kind of called it there at three-quarters of the way through the book, um, it coming back around. Uh, um,
Like the logical place to put it. I just wish it was more because like I had like the so there's like a festival going on where they're burning ships, and that's where the burning ship in the background goes. It was just like it was set up to be something more when that was the purpose of it, and just turned out to be kind of a dud. But it's fine. It was just a little disappointing.
yeah. Other things in this chapter, I thought, well, a couple things in this final section. A lot of things did seem rushed compared to like other chapters in the book where they were fleshing out. He was fleshing out the setting. He was fleshing out the character, um, growth in interactions, interpersonal connections between characters. So like he took liberty of okay, I've established that now I can just like okay, yeah, they travel, almost
Yeah.
like a built-in fast travel.
Yeah,
Um,
they do that a decent amount in this section.
yeah, I kind of understand it because we don't need the book to be like 1,200 pages, but
Yeah.
also at the same time I think they're like his writing and his character interactions are good. That there could have been a few like I would have enjoyed a few more scenes of like, hey, on the travels, this conversation happened. Um,
Yeah.
but
Personally, I wish that the whole Requin stuff wasn't in the book. And instead, it was more about Stragos and the Priori and the pirates. Because like Stragos, like the Requin stuff doesn't really need to exist. They could have had it where
I
they were
think
they were going to like do this, and then they get intercepted and they get poisoned, and they just cut off all that stuff up. Because we'll get to it later, but like they just kind of like walk up to the Priori and like, hey, we're gonna do this, and like okay, and then it happens, and it's kind of the end of the book. It's very rushed. That is the one thing I think is the worst part of this book is the end of it. It's incredibly rushed with the Priori and the Stragos.
yeah,
And
I agree. Um, I and hopefully we'll find out that I'm right in book three, but it's definitely like the Requiem stuff was there to set up future. future things.
I can see that.
But also, if you think about it, so like, I struggle. I've got some other things to think about, but I do or talk about rather. I struggle sometimes with going, you know what? This seems realistic. Like the way the story pans out seems kind of realistic. Like, hey, I have this, they have this plan, but like the rest of the world isn't just sitting there waiting for them to do their plan.
Yeah.
Other shit happens and causes things. So it's almost realistic, like, hey, I was on my way to do this, and somebody called and said, hey, I heard of you, and you're now working for me and kind of stuff, especially with people that are not upright citizens like you and I,
Yeah.
could easily get intercepted by different factions and that want you to do something for them. So
Yeah. I just think it would have been a stronger book if it focused more on the political intrigue, which is what this book ultimately is about, than like kind of a red herring of a heist that kind of goes nowhere until they like it doesn't matter, right? Ultimately, because they spoiler, even though we've read the entire book, the paintings were fake and everything. So like all it does in the plot is get them to do the Stragos switcheroos so they can beat him up. So like I think maybe if they didn't involve the Priori in Stragos' downfall, it's just very quick. It's literally like, and we can get to it when we get to it, but yeah, that's my one problem is it is very rushed.
yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about in this chapter was the subsection with Utgar and Rodinov. Like I was prepared to have to uh, think about and theorize who was backstabbing Drakasha, and he wrote the subsection that way because it was the last. I think it was like the last sentence where it revealed who was meeting up with him. I would have rathered it kept secret. Um, and then
Like
we find
like a
out later as
reveal.
a surprise.
Yeah, that could work.
Because here it was like, okay, well, Utgar is, he's the one. Um, and there was even a scene where I think later on during the battle, Drakasha was like, Utgar, you're with me. And here I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah, I thought he was gonna like stab her in the back.
yeah.
I thought maybe she would die and all the death flags for Esri were just a mislead, but alas. Yeah, I wish we had more for Utgar. Like maybe if it was instead of him, it was the other guy. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Like the main dude of the prisoners.
Oh, Jabril?
Jabril. Yeah, Jabril. Maybe if it was Jabril instead, just because we'd have more of a personal connection. And so it's kind of like the first mate, and he doesn't really do much.
Yeah, well, I don't think I would like that because there would have been no connection between excuse me, Rodinov and Jabril. So like
Yeah,
Rodinov wouldn't have trusted Jabril for that.
yeah. I don't necessarily mean. I meant like a Jabril, like if Utgar had Jabril's screen time.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, more than like actual Jabril. So yeah, I agree. It probably would make much sense.
Like
Um,
like if it was Gwillem or Tregain or somebody like that,
yeah,
or even Ezri. I mean,
yeah, that'd
that
be
that would
crazy.
have been that would have been more intriguing.
Yeah,
Because then like especially if he didn't reveal it was Utgar here, and then like you'd be like, okay, well, is it Ezri? Is it Gwillem? Is it Tregain? Or I think Gwillem and Tregain are the only other ones. One of those is the helmsman, right? Gwillem?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. And Tregain is
she's the like physicker.
the physiker. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have that hidden and revealed later, because then you would have probably your mind would have gone to those three, and then if he kept it as Utgar, you'd be like, oh, well, thank God it wasn't any of these, and then you get Ezri
Yeah,
die.
you could have done like the whole like a lot of like red herrings on people acting strange and you're like freaking out, but then it's
It could have been interesting to have like Ezri and Utgar go down or whatever, and then like Ezri comes up with that whatever, it's basically a bomb, whatever he called it. Um,
shipbane sphere.
yeah, shipbane sphere. Uh, if she came out of the hole at the same time as what's his name, Utgar, and then you're like, oh God, who is actually the one? They could play the, hey, it's that person. They're the traitor and such. And like, no, I'm trying to save the ship. Shoot him.
Yeah. Yeah. The way it plays out is fine, yeah. But
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
okay with the way it plays out. I'm just like thinking like, man,
it's
it could have been more suspenseful.
yeah. Just because like the best like betrayals, you have an emotional connection with the character. Instead, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I guess Utkar is bad. All right, that's cool. I guess he's gonna do something crazy, and he does something crazy. Like yeah, I'm thinking like Agents of Shield, that betrayal and stuff like that, which I won't spoil if nobody's seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I
Or
only watched like one
the
season.
first season of Agents of Shield. It's a very good show. Nobody's seen it.
Uh,
Probably
yeah, I
my
think season one was the only one I actually watched, and
then you
I've
then
forgotten.
then you would know who is betrayed. But somebody betrays them, and it's really sad and really good moment.
All right, chapter
But anyway,
14.
yes. Scourging of the Sea of Brass. We get a little thing with Rodonov, and he's like, I'm gonna go after them. She can't, she's gonna kill us all, basically. And we note throughout the thing, he has the biggest ship and the biggest crew, so it's gonna be bad.
Probably
Because
has
it's
the
also,
biggest dick too.
yeah, and he's the big guy. Okay, then we go back to the prologue. They like kill all the assassins accidentally. They wanted to question one of them, and Jean's like, "What the hell, Locke? You actually thought I would do it?" And he apologizes. It's kind of like a whatever. Um, then they like basically do a couple little pirate missions. They take a ship with like a academic on it, and they use
Agriculture doing hydrographic experiments.
yes, and they use Ravel's name instead of like Drakasha. Then they go and sack Salon Corbeau, which is basically like a resort area with a bunch of like foreign nationals and stuff. Not really too much for Tal Vorar. There's a scene with them sacking it. Then we switch back to Stragos, and he is pissed off because Locke is not really doing his job because he used Ravel's name, and that's also damaging his credibility. And they sack Solon Corbeau, which is further away from Talvarar and not really like one of their interests, so it's not doing its job.
It's not
Uh,
creating panic in Tal Varar. Like
yeah,
the citizens of Tal Varar do not feel threatened enough to give immediate emergency powers to Stragos.
yes, yeah, because yeah, there's no threat. They're just kind of more amused by it than anything. We get more death flags for Esri when she's like, "Hey, Jean, you could like," oh wait, Jean asks her to go with him. So she's like, after he's like, after this, we can go on a yacht together. And they're like, uh, she's like, oh, maybe I'll think about it. Because I think earlier she also said that he could stay on the ship, and he's like, maybe. Just death flags all around, and then we get a funny scene of Rodonov, and he's like, "Damn it, we can't find the poison orchid. It could be anywhere in the sea." And the guy's like, "It's right there." And like, okay, let's go. That's what happened. It's like literally like, man, we've been searching here for weeks. We can't find anything. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I totally thought at the end, and I don't have many thoughts on this section here.
Yeah,
Um, I thought that the ship that they spotted wasn't actually going to be the Orchid. Um, but of course it did turn out to be that way.
yeah.
So
I do like that they're making Jean and Locke repaint the name every time, and they really don't like it. It's pretty funny. Um, yeah, that's that. It's kind of a setup chapter. The sack of Solon Corbo was fun. With like Drakasa dressed up as like a lady, and then like pulling out a gun and shooting or crossbow and shooting somebody.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did what was more interesting to me, one of the funnier things is when they were going down the list of damages and it was like they did like 95,000 Solari in damages in Salon Corbeau. It's just like they
yeah.
I think Stragus was even did you have to sack it so completely? Like, oh yeah, I mean, hey.
Hey, we're pirates.
Yeah. It's like you didn't help. Um but yeah, in the fact that they like they chased people back to um
Like a castle,
yeah,
basically. Yeah,
the chick's castle and left it there. So we'll see if she turns out to be a villain in the future for Locke and Jean and be like, what the fuck did you do this for? Like,
yeah. Or the Drakasa spinoff,
yeah. Um,
which
um,
I would read. I'd read a Drakasa spinoff.
I would too. I would read more stuff. I would read Salon Corbeau stuff. Adventures in Salon Corbeau. Um, but yeah, instead of panic, the Varari are like, hey, that's kind of amusing. Like, that's strange but funny. Like that other town over there is just being destroyed, and we're not. Like, hey.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
it'd be like somebody like sacking Cabo. All right, like, and you're an American, you're like, yeah, I'm not really afraid, but they sacked Cabo.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, let's see what else. Oh, am I misremembering? But did they like with Zamira and whatnot, or no? They kept repainting a different name on the ship to make it seem like there were multiple
Yeah,
pirates.
and to like be more stealthy, basically.
Okay, that too. Okay,
Yeah. Because it would
because
like
like in my mind
it would
is
change flags and like repaint the name. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but they did not get the antidote this time. He was like, you still got time, and I'm pissed off at you, so you're not getting the antidote."
yeah, yeah. He said once the people start panicking, I'll give you your antidote. So
Yeah. All right, we can move on to chapter 15 unless you got anything else.
nope, that's it.
All right.
There's not much to talk about.
Between brethren. So get a little bit that Locke once, like, if things go bad, he's gonna be the one that tries to assassinate Stragos and not Jean, because they like to sacrifice themselves instead of the other one. Then basically there's a giant fight. It's a cool fight between Poison Orchid and Radonov. Uh, they like turn around and go at each other, and they like wedge themselves so only a certain part of the ship is they're actually connected, so there's a way less area and they can thermopylae it. uh the other guys like release those crazy killer birds, and we can see
Alcona.
them. Yeah, there's a fight. Locke and Jean are like basically on duty repelling boarders from the little boats. um, it's a cool fight. Basically, fucking Drakasa kills the first mate of the ship, which was fun. Um, and basically, it ends up with Utgar coming up when he has the ship's bane. And they're like, yeah. surrender, I'll drop this. And then he gets shot by Tigraine because she doesn't realize what he had. He drops it. Ezri like pushes Jean into lock and goes down into the cabin, grabs it, runs up, throws it onto the other ship, and then collapses, and Jean has to put her out of her misery. Very sad. Uh, the other ship burns down. They like torture the shit out of Edgar and kill him. And they're like, all right, we're going back to Talvara. We're gonna settle some debts. Basically, that's what happened.
Yeah. Um, so few things like Death and Lanterns, the Death Lantern
Those are cool.
creatures are really fucking cool. Like it's just a gelatinous mass that like it's almost like a gelatinous cube in the water, but it just like envelops them and then sucks the blood out. So like
Yeah,
a
like
vampiric gelatinous cube.
yeah, like crazy jellyfish.
Um, Pretty cool. I like those. The Valcona are cool. They're like 6 feet long and 3 feet tall, so they're just enormous. Like,
They're like
uh,
a rat. They're like a raptor or something.
yeah, but flying.
Yeah, I don't think they're
Um,
flying though. I think they're flightless birds.
are these the same ones that were mentioned
I'm
before?
pretty sure. Yeah,
Okay. Um,
I didn't go back to check, but it makes sense that there would be only one flightless carnivorous killer bird.
yeah, I thought these ones flew, but maybe
Maybe, maybe.
because he had them in cages and made them hungry and then released them. Um, and Zamir, like Drakasha's badass. She like killed all three of them.
Yeah,
It's like, okay.
yeah.
Um,
She's really cool.
Jean throwing 100-pound stones off of the ship into the
Yeah.
little boats. Um,
All right. Let
but
me ask you that.
it took two to sink the ship though. The boat, the little boat.
Yeah, I think there was a couple like strong, bigger boats that took two. I think he broke one that was like more of a raft, and the other one was like an actual tiny boat. Let me ask you this though: who do you think is canonically stronger, Jean or Perrin?
Perrin from Wheel of Time.
Yeah, Perrin.
Um, I mm,
They're both
mm,
pretty. They're both like crazy strong. I would.
I gotta go with Perrin.
I think so too, but it would be a good arm wrestling competition. I think.
Like Perrin. So I will say this.
He doesn't have
Uh,
any like magical strength though. He's just really
John or
no, both of them.
but yeah, they both of them. Neither of them have any magical strength. Um, well, maybe, but Perrin, I gotta say, I gotta go with Perrin because in reading Wheel of Time, from the first time I started reading it, Perrin became my favorite character, uh, like my first favorite character, especially out of the three guys. He was my favorite. I know Matt was yours,
Hmm.
um, but Perrin was mine, and I didn't necessarily pick Jean as a favorite or pick anybody as a favorite in these books yet. So I have to go with Perrin.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He is a blacksmith that can make crazy. He can do stuff. Um, no spoilers for the wheel time here.
Yeah, no spoilers for the Wheel of Time.
But yeah, I mean, for me right now, I'd say probably Jean's my favorite character, just because Locke to me isn't really a character yet. He's just kind of like a MacGuffin almost as a character. He kind of just does like he just kind of gets out of situation with talking and stuff. But he doesn't really have that much like wants and needs and stuff. He doesn't feel like a real person right to me,
Yeah, I could see that.
which I think will change whenever they meet Sabitha.
Yes, which I
Which
did read the back of book
yeah,
three.
Yeah, which she's gonna be in book three.
And she's gonna be in book three.
It's
So
in the like the description of the. I was like gonna buy it on Kindle. And I read the little blurb. I was like, okay, that's fun.
yeah, I'm glad I didn't read that before. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Um, what does matter, I think it does tell you that Locke and Jean have a ticking clock, or
yeah,
Locke does.
yeah,
Locke does. Jean drank the antidote. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, I read it. Sounds kind of fun. They're gonna meet up with the Bonds mage and shit.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, this fight was really cool. Uh,
yeah, I really liked the chapter. Like it took a lot of the book, but and it's exciting. There's just not much to talk about when in big giant battles.
yeah,
There's
he don't really want to go blow for blow, except we kind of went through the the coolest parts of it.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's a little bit of a missed opportunity to have Esri die, just because it was so explicit that she was gonna die. Like every single like I have 2 days for retirement trope was being done. I was like, "Ah, it's gonna be a little sad if she dies, because yeah, because yeah. But anyway, so I was a little sad that she died, but it was well done. Her death scene and Jean having to kill her and stuff to put out of her misery. And
Yeah, they and the ship's bane,
or
what
sphere.
the ship's bane sphere. It's like a it's like a giant ball of uh match heads that are in like Nate with napalm or something
Yeah, I
type
was thinking like
situation.
white phosphorus.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
just like starts burning through things.
yeah,
It's a horrible description of
yeah. I mean, it's
Esri.
basically white phosphorus. It doesn't even go out with water. That's why it's a war crime to use it. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's a war
Um,
crime to use white phosphorus.
hmm,
I did not know that. Have you ever seen phosphorus be put in the water?
no.
I think it's highly volatile. I know, like sodium, if you put sodium by itself or magnesium in water, it it's just very volatile and like jumps around and sparks and all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
all right.
but yeah,
Anything else for this?
no. Uh, yeah, that's it. We can go to the last chapter. Uh, Settling accounts. Chapter 16. We get a really good funeral scene with Ezri and then all the other people. It was fun. Then they're like, all right, we're gonna go break into the Priori's place and like do some stuff. We need like we need to get up to make us look like priests. And it kind of like flashes, and then they break into this guy Cordo's place, who's like a Priori. Uh, they break in, they like tussle with the maid a little bit, and then like they find out that he is the guy that was sending assassins after them. And which he's just like, yeah, the freaking bonds mages told me to, basically. Um, and they're like, God damn it, you suck. Uh, but hey, listen up. We could kill you if we wanted to. But we're gonna go take down Stragos, and here's what's
Oh,
gonna happen. Mhm.
Zamira gives the Twisted Sisters, Wicked Sisters, back to
Yes.
Jean,
What's
and
the
also
sisters?
Locke gets his alchemical cement cards.
Yes. Which will come into play. Well, the sisters won't come into play, but
The
no,
cement
no,
cards do.
yeah. I guess they come into play a little bit, but anyway, yeah. They're like, hey, we're gonna get taken out by Stragos. We're gonna get arrested pretty soon, and you can do some stuff. They don't really say. We don't get the reader doesn't get caught on to the plan, but that's what happens. Then they go to Stragos, and they're like, hey, we got Drakasa ready to like just go buck wild and like invade and burn down the docks, basically. Uh, but we're gonna go do the Sinspire game because we've been here for like 2 years and we really want to do it. And if you don't let us do it, we're gonna tell her to call off the entire thing. And hey, we need you to have some eyes to arrest us, because then like we can slip away out of your custody, and like we can say screw you, Weckman, basically. And he's like fine, uh, whatever. I'm annoyed, but sure. If this is gonna get me my big raid, you can do it. And I hate you, Locke. You're a giant arrogant asshole. And he's like, takes one to know one, basically. Then they go to the Sunspire. Uh, they get up to Requin's room and they're like, "Hey, eyes are to come," and that's like a violation of your like authority, basically. Like it's gonna be bad because they've like said they're gonna keep out of the Sunspire. So Requin goes down to like confront them and like stop them from entering the actual tower. And they're with Cylindri. They have a scuffle. He seals the door with the paste from the cards and breaks into the chairs, and they have like their climbing equipment that we saw in one of those interludes. And they're like, "Hey, we're not actually here to rob the vault. We're here to rob his art collection that's right here." So that's what they do. They climb out the windows and descend. Uh, Pretty cool. Then they get arrested by the eyes, and they get taken to Stragos, and basically they're like, Stragos is like, "You fools! I don't need you alive anymore." Blah blah blah. And then there's like Uno reverse. Actually, these eye people are working with us now. Then it has a really weird cut from like a flashback that really threw me off. I don't know if it threw you off. I know you sometimes get confused with the flashback stuff. Did this one throw you off?
Was it the one where it said this is how it happened?
Yeah.
For some reason, I knew exactly what was going on there. But yeah, sometimes flashbacks
That
get.
one, that was usually I'm the one that doesn't get confused. That one confused the shit out of me. I think I just kind of glanced over the "this is how it happened." Just like, oh, it's a
Oh,
little.
like
And then I was
once
like
I
reading
read
it.
this is how it happened, I was like, well, that's an interesting way to write it into the book. Like,
Yeah, because I like read it and they were suddenly in the carriage. I was like, what happened? I was like reading. I was like, and then like I got yeah. They basically there's a flashback, a little jarring, for me at least. And then basically the priori people capture all the eyes and like, all right, hey, tell us how you all your passwords and stuff, or we're gonna kill your entire family and make you watch. And he's like, no, don't do it. So they gives up the passcodes. So then they basically capture Stragos, and Moraine kills the alchemist and almost kills Stragos and Jean, but like they like have a little fight and she runs away. Um Locke uses like a fake document that he has Requin seal to be like, hey, Requin says that we get to take Stragos, and we're cool. And then they're like, okay, fine, as long as he doesn't come back. Then we go to the Poison Orchid. Stragos is there. He's gonna get chained in the dark and like die a bad death. Um,
extremely long death.
yes. Then, like I said earlier, Cylindri becomes the head of the secret police. They're like, some of Stragos' men can stay alive, and Cylindri can be head of the secret police. And they can have tea with the people in Comor about how they got their positions later. Um, which I hope there's just this is the one where I want a Brandon Sanderson interludes, which is just them having tea and like a negotiating thing with like the Priori and the Duke, and it's just them, and they're like, so you're new to your position, so are you? And then they have a little funny conversation. That'd be fun. Anyway, yeah, she's head of the secret police. Uh Locke and Jean are find out that the art is fake. And then they go to their yacht that they talked about earlier, and Locke tricks John into drinking the antidote, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna figure it out," and that's how it is, basically.
Oh, did you already go through the epilogue too?
Yeah, I think that is the epilogue.
Well, you were in chapter 16, and I think you moved on to the epilogue.
Sorry, I didn't break them up in the notes because nothing really
Uh,
happens in the epilogue.
okay, yeah.
I think
So a
it's
few things I think you missed over were the son of
yeah,
Cordo,
a lot
Linus.
happens. So
Yeah, Linus double crossed them. Um, and uh, but then Locke was like, "Hey, here's a letter from Requin that says don't kill them." He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I won't kill you." Um,
yeah, I just looked at the epilogue. That's basically all that happens in the epilogue. Is like they find out that the thing is fake, and then Jean takes
Antidote.
the antidote, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, what are we gonna do?"
yeah,
And they find out they get 2,500 coins, which is not that lot.
yeah. 10,000 was
For
10,000 they were
the
promised.
yeah, 100,000. It was a lot more for the fake paintings. And I do like how they Requin's like, "Go down to my vault and get the original," and she's like, "The original?" And I was like, "Oh, uh,
Yeah, that was a big kind of switcheroo there, where because I don't remember, I can't remember. It definitely wasn't done over and over again. So if it was like once or twice where it mentioned the art that was in his office. Um,
yeah,
and it wasn't enough for me to go, oh, hey, maybe they should steal the art. Um,
yeah."
so much emphasis on the vault.
I do think it's a little. I don't know about lazy, but it's a little weird to like because we were in there for a lot of the planning of the stuff, and like not once did any of our characters in their minds be like, "Yeah, we're gonna go steal the art." So like, no, we need because like I think the like climbing one, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this to get to the vault or whatever," but by then they would have known that they were just getting the art, so it's a little intentionally misleading, which I don't find to be the greatest.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, when you're in people's heads, you know, they're not always going to be thinking about everything. So you're not going to necessarily have certain insight to things if there's no reason for them to be thinking about it, then, it'd be weird if, unless it was just something really on that character's mind. So they just randomly thought about it. You're like, oh, okay, well, that's weird, but maybe they just have ADHD and they started thinking about that and we glimpsed that. But no, when they're planning, they definitely should have been like, or our backup or our main plan actually is to steal the
yeah,
art.
yeah, it was just for Mr. Reveal's sake, which is fine. It's just not my favorite way to
It's
do it.
weird when using POVs.
Yeah,
But again, it like you said, it is fine.
yeah,
One of my favorite funny scenes here is whenever they break into Cordo's estate, and one servant is like, "What?" And he goes, "Hey, we're reverse burglars. Congratulations. Here's some money."
yeah. That was funny. I also like the maid. She was like, I already heard stuff. Can I just stay here?" And she's like, "No, you have to leave. Go, go. You can't hear this. Like state secrets is what's gonna happen." And so that was funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, they were going to pose as priests of Calo Androno, which they described as the god of travel, languages, and lore. So I was like, my brain went to bards, essentially be bards, because they look kind of ragged. They're kind of described as like not prestige looking, almost beggarish. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah. Oh, the John did take a book from Cordo's library as well. I don't know if we found out what book that was,
Yeah, I can't remember.
but
It's different.
I had to look up. I think it was described as like an octant or octave book, and I was like, "What is that?" And it was just basically a book that's printed in an eighth, like on a piece of paper that's an eighth of the size of a regular piece of paper.
Hmm. Little mini book.
Yeah.
I've had some of those.
Um, so I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
Definitely, Lynch uses. Um, he does a couple things. He uses some words that I'm not familiar with, so I have to like look up. And then he uses some words in very unique ways or kind of made up words almost. Um, I don't have an example of one, but he's done it several times where I was like, well, that's very interesting way. Like instead of port side, he uses larboard.
Yeah.
That's one. Um, which is an archaic term for port. I just looked it up, but I don't even know when it would have been used. Um, but yeah, it looks like they changed it because lar and star were too close together.
That makes sense.
So starboard and port. So, but no, overall, I enjoyed um I enjoyed the book. I hope we get a different plot line in book three.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it will with the introductions of Sabbatha, uh, which will be fun, and a from what I read of the description, a bonds mage. Um, on maybe their side. I'll have to see the actual plot.
I
But
will say, so book three is called The Republic of Thieves, and I'm looking at the cover. This looks reminds me a lot of Cylindri. This is
yeah,
especially her face is half
yeah.
bones. So I wonder if that is Cylindri.
Well, I mean that is a mask, but yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool if he is leaving behind a roster of some interesting characters that could potentially come back. I don't know if so far at least the series hasn't had people come back, but I would assume as it gets further along, that's why you keep people alive.
Yeah, I gotta say these characters on the front of this book look very interesting though.
Yeah. Yeah.
This dude's helmet is very unique looking.
Yeah. I wonder if since we haven't bonds mages, if we're going to Carthage.
Maybe.
That'd be
Shall I
cool.
see if there's a map somewhere here?
Sure.
Let's see. Hey, there's a map of Carthage.
Yeah, I called it.
Yeah, you did.
That's fun. Cause
I I owe you. Oh, I mean, I didn't put anything on the line, but I'll buy you a chocolate bar.
oh, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, a Wonka bar.
Ooh, even better.
But if you get the golden ticket, you got to give it to me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So
Yeah, that should be fun. I may start reading tonight.
yeah, maybe so.
I was gonna start reading early, like before we did this. I was like, no, I should not do that.
Oh, start reading this.
Yeah, because I finished it like a week, like probably like 6 days ago.
Yeah, so did I. Um, yeah, I finished it like last Tuesday or something like that at the beach. But then we just didn't. I didn't feel like pressing it on recording
Yeah,
while I was out there, but it's
gotta have
fine.
gotta have
So
a vacation.
yeah. Um. All right. So next episode we will be discussing um in this copy of the book it's the first 180 pages. Um. So you're gonna stop when you get to chapter 4. So don't read chapter 4. Stop when you get to the title for chapter 4. Um, this book I think is a little shorter than the others. Um, it's
Are there
under
any
700
are
pages.
there any like remembrances or anything like that in there?
There is interludes.
Okay.
So between chapter 3 and chapter 4, there is an interlude, I do believe. Um, let's see.
That'd be fun. Maybe it's them as children, how they like first met and stuff. Seeing how we got Jean in book one.
I could see it being about Sabitha and Locke.
Yeah, makes the most
Um,
sense.
but yeah,
Gets
there is an interlude there. Let's see here.
I will say I enjoy this kind of world hopping stuff. I do hope they go back to Komorra at some point. I don't see how they could with being wanted thieves and everything, but that was a cool city. I think it would be fun to go back somehow.
Yeah, I'd like to see them kind of go back to different cities. Um, I mean, if Wheel of Time can go back to some cities where they like have start riots and wars and stuff.
Yeah, just needs to
Um,
become the dragon, eh?
yeah. Oh, I was gonna mention. So I was talking to Chris the other day, and he was mentioned something about Era 2. Oh, we were talking about the Cosmere RPG. And I asked him a question. He was like, "Oh, I guess it depends on the time frame that we're in." And he thought so. When we play the Cosmere, the campaign we're going to be playing is solely on Roshar. There's no Mistborn stuff yet. All the Mistborn stuff comes out for the RPG next year. Um, and so he's like, "Well, Era 2 stuff would be cool." And he started talking about it. I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm on the fourth book in Era 2." I was like, "Okay. You didn't even tell me you started like the first one." Um,
Yeah,
so I started rereading it.
nice.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, there-
I'm not, it's not even a spoiler, but there was something hilarious that I caught in this reread. Um, and it's just a mention of a coachman, and the we know at the end of the last book we discussed a certain person gets hired as a coachman, so
yeah,
the implications are kind of funny.
nice. Yeah, I have not read any Air 2. I don't know if I will. I might just skip it and read Air 3. But I definitely need a long break from Sanderson after Wind and Truth, so we'll see.
I will say Era 2, at least the first two, three books, are not as heavy as Stormlight
Yeah,
or even Mistborn Era 1.
yeah, it's weird. Sometimes for me, I get like a thing that's so good, I just don't need anything else. It's like that with
Arion.
Arion the Human Equation, where it's like
Yeah.
he has other good like CDs and stuff, but if I want to listen to Arion, I'll just listen to Human Equation. And it's kind of like if I want Mistborn, I kind of just want to reread Mistborn because I know it's a whole different like thing. And I should probably just read it one day or like get an audiobook or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's essentially Sherlock Holmes and
Yeah.
Watson kind of thing.
Yeah, I know it's pretty it's pretty good and different, but I don't know.
I
Pretty
enjoyed it. I've read the first three of Era 2 at least twice. Uh, the fourth book I've only read once. But I'm rereading it
Is
with
that all of it?
novel. Huh?
Is that all of it? Four books?
Yeah, there's four books. Um, and they're the first two are really short. Then they start get a little bit longer, but not none of them are as long. Like book one is 300 pages. Book two is like 320, 340, something like that. And then the fourth book is like 400 something pages. So they're not long. Um, but with the understanding of Starlight Archives, I wanted to go back and reread with that fresh on my mind
Yeah, makes sense.
and see what connections I make. So, but well,
Yeah.
um,
So yeah, after this next book, we will be going to a different series, which will be fun.
yeah.
So
In between, we should be having Scott Lynch as a guest author. I started writing down some questions. They might change after I finish reading
yeah,
this.
I need to write down some questions.
But yeah, write down some questions so we can ask him and have some fun with that. Um, he'll be the second author that has been on this podcast, um, but the most popular one of the two. Um, so well, the other one was an indie author. Um, Fun guy to have on. His series that we read was kind of fun. I think it was like Heart of the Machine series or something. I can't find the books where they are. Um, but there was a Mike knew the author and he had copies of the books, so he sent them to me and we read them. Fun little series. So,
Oh, yeah.
but all right. Well, next time, the Republic of Thieves. We begin that, and don't forget to smash that like button, give us a follow, subscribe, share, leave a rating or review. Talk about our podcast to your friends and family as if you are a vegan or a CrossFitter and you can't get enough of it.
Hmm.
Uh, and hopefully they will come listen and then they'll bring the things up we talk about to you before you do. Um, and then, yeah, it's all fun for everybody. Visit our sponsor, Mudcat Whiskers, www.mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15%. And if you have any books that you would like us to read, send us your uh, recommendations. I Justin mentioned it already. Our next series is going to be a different series, and we're going to go into the Red Rising series, at least the first three books, so the first arc.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Chris will be on there too. This is his series that he likes.
yeah,
Unless he decided there's too much work.
maybe so. Um,
We'll have to see.
or maybe I'll let y'all discuss it and I'll read along.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
This is my baby, but sometimes you build something and then you let it fly, and you know, trust people to do things and make it fun. So this is more than me. I couldn't do this without my friends. So I appreciate Mike for his time that he's been here, Chris for the time he put, Emily for the time she put, and of course you, Justin, for stepping up for the um, kind of main co-host.
Yeah.
So
Been a fun ride so far.
yeah, it's fun, and I get to talk to you more.
Yeah.
There's a few years there where we talked, but not for long.
Yeah.
Um,
Busy lives.
yeah, lives do get busy. I'm 40 now, so. But all right, Justin. Catch you next week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.